Hey, what is up, YouTube? This is 13ULTRALORD79, and I have a black and white Wi-Fi battle here. Um, my opponent's name is Tank. I can't pronounce it. I'm sorry. But obviously it's gonna be on the heading and on the description, so you guys can correct me if you want all you want. However, anyways, as you can see, my opponent has a pretty much an OU offensive sand team, and I have a kind of OU mixed tier team. I guess it's pretty mixed. Um, Well, you can call it OU, I guess, because of the fact that I do have three OUs, two UUs, and one RU. But anyways, I'm just dragging this out. Let's see what happened. Oh, sorry. Before that, judging by his team, the best lead for me would be the Lucario lead because of the fact that I can grow Dent on any of one of his pokes except the Scizor and not the Scizor, except on the Gliscor and on the Donphan because those two would be kind of a little problem if he let off with either one. However, he decides to lead off with the Scarm for whatever reason, and I go ahead and lead off with the Lucario. And the first turn, I decide to go ahead and go for the Swords Dance because of the fact that if he decides to Woolwood me out or roar me out, I won't really have much to lose because of the fact that there's no hazards up, so it's gonna be kind of a trial period and be like, all right, will he or will he not? And as you can see, he did not go for the Whirlwind that turn, which is a perfect initiative for me to use the close combat the next turn, and kind of just like I thought this was gonna be. I knew it was gonna be a clean to hit KO, but that much damage on the Skarmory, it's obviously especially defensive. And he decides to war me out right here, and it's gonna pull out my Shaman. And this turn, I decided to go for the hidden power here, because of the fact that I know that the hidden power would finish off his Skarmory, and I thought he would just stay in and flaunted this thing because there's really no point in this thing anymore because of the fact that I have many different ways of checking this thing. But he just, however, whatever is going on through his head, he decides to switch out into his Tyranitar. And now, judging the Tyranitar when it comes out, when it made its appearance, at first I didn't really know what it was because of the fact that his Scribe already set up the Stealth Rocks. So I was like, so he obviously doesn't want to set up Stealth Rocks. He wants to set up something else, or he can even get Choice Set. But when he pulled that out and he had Air Balloon, I was like, okay, that's not Choice. That's yeah, most likely going to be that Dragon Dance Tyranitar, or probably an all offensive Tyranitar, or even a sub punch Tyranitar. But anyways, this turn I go for the Leech just trying to scout here, and he shows me the Ice Punch, which is gonna do a lot of fucking damage. It's gonna do fucking. As you can see, it does I tank it pretty well actually. Actually, I exaggerated that. But anyways, then this turn I decided to go for the Protect, just again try to scout what he wants to do because I wasn't really sure if he was the Dragon Dance set because I was like, I haven't really seen these in 5th gen. Well, I haven't really seen these at all. However, this turn he decides to switch out to a Scarm. I wasn't really sure why, but I was like, so he switched that into Tyranitar just to take a bunch of damage. It doesn't really make sense to me, but this turn I decided to go for the safe hidden power ice again because I was like, I guess I could just keep playing what he wants to play. But here I was over here trying to like figure out what he was doing. Cause my first plan was like he's like trying to do all this just so I can get lefties damage and then he can come in and take like a shaman's move. But I wasn't really sure. I just go for the hidden power ice and I don't even want to deal with this thing anymore. I guess realizing that there's not much Skarm can do against my team. But anyways, now he decides to switch out to Scizor. I was predicting the bug move or the U-turn. I was predicting this thing to be a ban set, which is why I pulled out Gligar. I was like, Gligar can sponge a choice-minded U-turn here and force him out into I do believe. But however, he does show me the Flying Gem Acrobatics with the Technician Scizor, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna do a lot of damage. But as you can see, I took that a lot better than I expected it to. And right here, he decides to switch out to Gliscor as I decide to go for the Roost because no matter what he did, I could just like Roost off the damage and just like call it a day for him. However, he does decide to switch out into his Gliscor, which I'm guessing it's the typical Poison Heal set, which is like Swords Dance. Oh, sorry. Substitute Protect, Ice Fang, or Earthquake. Yeah. So I do pull out the Suicune because Suicune can just take this thing's hits all day long, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. So on the Switch, he catches me with the Swords Dance here, so I was like, +2 Earthquake wouldn't be doing that much, you know, and the whole plan was to, if he hits me with the Earthquake, I can just pretty much, revenge it with an Ice Beam and just, like, call it a day for this thing. However, right here, he decides to go for a useless Protect that's not really going to matter. I don't know why he used Protect. I'm guessing he wanted to either PP stall or Scout if I really was going to go for the Ice Beam. But right here, oh, I'm sorry, guys. Right here, I knew he was going to switch out, but I didn't know into what, so I decided to switch up the move into Surf instead of Ice Beam because of the fact that Surf gets stabbed and that he does have a Scizor in there and other pokes that can take Ice Beam pretty damn well. And then he pulls out Donphan. Now, at first, when he pulled out Donphan, I was a bit confused. At first, I was like, why would he pull out Donphan in front of Suicune? I wasn't really too sure why he did that. And I never get to learn its set. Because I do end up two-shotting this thing. After all this like, leftover crap. I do end up two-shotting it. But after it faints, I guess it becomes clear to me that he wanted to safe switch into his, I'm just going to give it away. He wanted to safe switch into his Dweeble here, for whatever reason. And as you can see, I take lefties, ha 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 ha. I'm sorry for being so gay and awkward. But anyways, he pulls out his Dweeble, and right here I go for the Surf, knowing he would Shell Smash on the first turn, because I was like, okay, why would he want to go for a move when he can Shell Smash and like, because I've seen this thing before, and I know it has Flail, like Earthquake, Shell Smash. I don't even know its last move, but I know it wants to. I just know I wanted to Shell Smash, so I went for the Surf here. I was like, alright, Surf can take it down to Sturdy, and then I can switch up to Chansey. He kills off my Chansey, and then from that point on, I can just, revenge it with Lucario. That was the plan, right? But right here, he shows me the red card, which I was like, oh, pull out Lucario, Lucario, Lucario. I was like hoping, I was crossing my fingers, and it's Gligar. So he didn't pull out my Lucario. I wasn't, well, I was just kind of like, okay. Right here, I was debating whether I should stay in and hope that Sandville activates and I can dodge his hit. But I was like, I don't want to take chances. So I go ahead and flutter the Chansey here, because his team has full of physical guys, and Chansey is a special wall, so there's really no point for him to even be in this battle. So I go ahead and I flutter the Chansey, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get the safe switch to Lucario here. That way I can just like revenge kill it, because let's be honest, if he does decide to switch out, there's not much you can do anymore because he is down to Sturdy now. He can't Shell Smash or anything. So overall, I claimed his Dweeble the moment he decided to Shell Smash, and to speak theoretically, but not to sound arrogant. Anyways, I do end up killing this thing, and he does go back out to the Gliscor, which I was like, oh shit. Because I really don't have many ways to directly deal with this Gliscor besides the fact of pulling out Suicune, because again, there's really not much I could do against this thing. I could have possibly sent out what's his name? I forget his name, Dugtrio, but having him set up to +6 would not be a good thing at all. So overall, I was like, oh crap. But anyways, he decides to Swords Dance, so I was like, oh, I can take your Earthquake for days, I was over here, and I was like, alright, I'm just going to go straight. I went straight for the Surf over here, predicting a Protect or even a Switch Out. But that was a bad move on my part, and he goes for a Facade, and I was like, oh, shit. That did a lot of damage, and I was like, I wasn't trusting myself that I could live another Facade. So it all leads off into, if Suicune can survive another Facade, I win the game. But if Suicune could not survive another Facade, then I lose. And that's what this play came down to. But he decides to switch out into Earthquake, and I was like, oh my god, I can take your Earthquake for days. And then you see what I mean. I take that with 15 damage, and I go ahead and revenge kill it with an Ice Beam. And I guess when this Gliscor fainted, all like grimacing hope of him overcoming the evils of my team and winning pretty much just went down the drain with the Gliscor. However, Suicune does go down as a Brave Patron, MVP of the match. That's why I love Suicune, as you can tell. But anyways, he just it's double down, and I decided to switch out to Gligar because obviously all of his Pokemon are physical defense or physical attackers, and I am physically defensive Gligar. So I was like, pretty, righteous play on my part. But right here, he decides to go for the Bug Bite. I'm not really sure why. I would have just gone for the another Acrobatics here. I did decide to go for the Earthquake. Not really gonna do too much. I was like, oh fuck, this is gonna be a while. So I just decided to roost here because I knew it was gonna be a little while, and I was like, all right, let's just try to finish this thing off. And after I roost, I think I was hoping, I was hoping he would not Swords Dance, because if he Swords Danced and he went to +6, I'll be at 2-shot for a Bullet Punch. But he's not showing me Swords Dance. But right here, I use the Earthquake, and I actually get a crit, which is like, oh fuck, you killed me. So this crit killed the amount of turns that it would have taken to take down the Scizor. Like, it definitely mattered, but in the long run, it really didn't. So I'm guessing it's kind of like one of those things that, like, it would have been better off. Well, I really can't explain the whole predicament, but anyways, right here I try to play the arrogant card, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna predict you like a bat, like, not like a bat. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Anyways, I play the arrogant card, and I'm like, oh, I know what he's gonna do. He's gonna use the Ice Punch on my Gligar because that's all he can do. But that's not the case, and he decides to go for the Dragon Dance, and I switch on to the Lucario, but as you can see, he decided to run, and that will be the game. Good game, bro. I really enjoy battling him. He's a really good battler. Definitely should check him out. But anyways, there's nothing much to say. So yeah, bye.